All right, everybody. Thank you so much for your patience. I see everybody hopping on here. So good to see you all. And Robert, thank you for making the time.
Happy to be here.
Yeah. So, today is one of the best topics for us to be talking about relationships in business. I feel like especially the way Compass was built. So I kind of want to kick it to you to start us off in terms of, it's been an incredible ride for Compass to get to where we are. And, I'm just curious, first things first, how much of a role did relationships play in building Compass?
I think without relationships, there would be no Compass. We wouldn't be able to raise money. We had the largest seed financing round in the country. It was $8 million that year. And those were relationships that were built over years from Ori, my co-founder, who sold a company to Google and another to Twitter. And myself, I worked at McKinsey and the White House and Goldman Sachs. And I started nonprofits where a lot of people donated to it, and they had seen a track record of me and Ori separately doing what we said we were going to do and staying in touch with them. That made them confident in investing in us. That's one. Two, Ori would have never worked with me if it wasn't for a relationship. I met him when I was in the White House, which was like in 2005, and then Compass, we founded that. And founded it in 2000 and I think around 12, 13. And I stayed in touch with him. I just sat with him literally at a dinner, period, nothing else. But I wrote him cards every year. And then when he moved to New York, he asked me to be on as like an advisor for a second company. And I wrote him handwritten notes every year. When I went to San Francisco, in between that, I just reached out to him. So relationships were there. Then obviously the founding team of Compass the majority were people that Ori and I knew that we believed in. And then when we had hiccups along the way, it's the relationship of trust and like that kept those people committed to Compass even when things weren't easy. And so, yeah, I think relationships are everything.
So I'm going to ask something that I think, for those who don't know, I was an agent and sales manager. Now I'm a Compass coach. But, as an agent, when I joined in San Francisco, it was Monica Pauly and Amanda Jones and Neil Ward. And they're like, you got to meet Robert, And so you were out there all the time, and you basically built Compass, just meeting everybody face to face, which racking up those miles on the planes, and so, one of the most notable things is your ability to almost, number one, be everywhere. So we're all just like, we don't know where he gets the energy for this. But you remember names, you respond within 10 minutes. You are so good at that. So I know for everybody on this call, how do you do that?
Well, I think I love people and I love relationships. And I'm inspired by people with big dreams. And in this thing of Compass, most agents and most employees have big dreams. That's why you come to Compass. If not, you just stay where you are. And so, and in every conversation with someone, I think about what the potential could be. Thank you, B Citron. I'm wearing my Compass Miami. So I get all these shirts from across the country. Yeah. This is the first day I wore it. I wore a regional one. I think everyone likes this. I think I'm going to do it more and more.
Sure.
Yeah. But look, I'll share this. I've never thought it's been easier to be successful. In the old days, you had to go to get into Harvard, or you had to work 140 hours a week, and you'd be a student, or a Compass. We had to launch a national brand and create Compass Concierge, and then launch 400 different markets, find 400 offices, and then hire a bunch of agents, all these really, really hard things from nothing. Now, all I think you have to do is be with each other in person. That's all. I really believe that. And I think that the answer is so clear, it's so simple that people don't take it seriously. I do. That's why I'm leaning more into people in every 4. You will never see me at a home office. It's not possible.
Yeah.
It can happen. And you'll never see me in my office, with well, I think I am marketing everywhere that I'm with people. Every Friday, this Friday, I have I have a Shabbat dinner in my house, my kids, family, not work-life balance, work-life integration. On Sunday, I take my family to open house every Sunday, put on social media tonight. There's another, agent event. Just took a bunch of people out for lunch today. Last night, look at my social media, barbecue with technology team and growth team. I am tripling, quadrupling down on people and in person, because we're not in the real estate business, we're in the people business. And I see agents, I'm telling you the answer, less text message. When your competitors are doing text message, you pick up the phone. When your competitors are doing virtual listing presentations, you find a way to be in that living room. When others are, I don't know, doing just emails, find the client events. And so I just think it's never, and I can see from brokerage firms as well, like a lot of these brokerage firms who I do have great respect for, I think their CEOs and their managers are moving away from the agents. They're being this less in person. And the number one reason agents did not come to Compass is I am emotionally connected to my company, to the people there. And so you all know this is about trust and like. It's about emotional connection. That is too hard to create virtually. It's hard not to create if it's in person. And so that to me is across every industry almost. It hasn't been easier to have a competitive advantage. Just be in person.
Yeah. I often, first off, thank you for that. I often tell my clients, I say, what do you do if somebody refers you business? And they might say, I give a gift card. And I said, well, don't you think that's the perfect opportunity to take someone to dinner or take them to lunch to solidify that relationship? I will say 22 years in real estate, going to the sales meeting at the office, not on Zoom, not second rate, but going to the office is where somebody is going to be talking. You're going to be getting coffee and they're going to say, hey, guess what? I actually have this buyer right now. It's kind of happening really fast. Do you have anything coming up? And you might say, actually, I was talking to somebody yesterday. These are the conversations that happen at the office. And if you look at the heaviest hitters in real estate, they go to the sales meeting every week. 20, 30, 40 years at the sales meeting, taking notes, looking for the opportunities. And so it's just being in person is huge.
Jean Marie Conley, one of our top agents in Boston, said in front of a big group, she said, yep, some of the best transactions in my career happened from meeting other agents in the elevator, the bathroom, or the kitchen, but not at home, my pink slippers. It just, obsessive opportunity happens not in a meeting, it's before and after. That's where that's where it all happens. That's the magic. And so I think good times promote bad habits. 2021. Bad times promote good habits. 2023, this year, is the year of getting back to the basics. Do the things that got you to your success, not what you did over the last 2 years. And know that this opportunity for you may not be here for that long. Like maybe I'm worried that the other CEOs are going to start figuring out that, they shouldn't be closing offices and they shouldn't try to get people back. I'm worried that they may actually start trying to do everything that we've been doing to bring energy back to the company. And for you, if I was a real estate professional, I would be worried that, oh my God, maybe the client events for my competitors will come back. I was in Chicago and I said, less text messages, more client events. Someone literally raised their hand and said, that's a good point. I used to do 2 client events every year, but then I stopped when COVID happened. I'm telling you, people have completely forgot. And here's how they forgot. This is the sentence that made the country, again, not just agents, but the country, forget that 80% of success is showing up. That's been a quote for over 100 years, right? But here's the sentence: I'm just as productive, but I'm just as productive at home. By the way, I did that. I had that in my mind as well, and then thankfully, it went away because of a couple of specific things that happened. But it's not about productivity. It is about connectivity.
Yeah.
It is about emotional connections, which build trust and and build friendships and sharing and spontaneous moments of collaboration. Who do you think is going to get the referral? The person from the sales manager, the person that's in the office every day saying hi, or the person they never meet. Who's going to get the referral from an agent in a different market? The person that goes to that market or goes to to different networking events, person who doesn't. Who's going to find out about the listing, the inventory before someone else? The person on a Zoom call that doesn't have the before and after, the person who's there. You know, at CNBC, I'm now on every month. How'd that happen? Well, in January, they asked me to be on. They say, hey, do you want to come on in your home office or come to the studio? I was offended. I was like, I'm going to be at the studio. And then I go in, two things happen. One, for 45 seconds, a minute before you sit down, and they start asking you questions, and you could plant a question. They're like, hey, because you don't know what they're going to ask. It's pretty scary. And so they're like, hey, what's happening right now? What's going on? I was like, look, 70% of homeowners have 4% mortgage rates or below, so that people are locked out of their homes. If I say that, I know they're going to ask the question. So I can plant an question and I'll know an answer. One. Two, afterwards, the producer's walking me back to the exit, 30 seconds of a walk, maybe 45. And I had an opportunity to say, you know what, I'd be happy to come back every month if you want. I could do it during existing home sales data when it comes out every month. She said, that would be great. Thank you. And now I'm on every month. Opportunity is in person. That's trust and like. And so again, I don't talk about return to office in any way, like, please come to office anymore. That's done. I talk about it only in competitive advantage. Like, we as a company, we have a competitive advantage if we're all in person and others aren't.
So something that I always try to, think very practical, actionable. So I'm going to say this to everybody watching. It's not just the event. So my clients, my prescription for them is 3 times a week. I want you going to lunch, dinner, drinks in person, minimum 3 times a week. But if you can start setting up these events and then you ask somebody to bring another friend or a couple that you don't know, I'd love to share this experience with you. We're all going to go to the orchestra. We're all going to go to dinner. We're all going to go on a boat tour. I'd love for you to bring somebody, and you're just starting to organically expand and have fun. This isn't salesy. Who doesn't love a day on the boat? And so that's how you build the relationship and get those referrals, because everybody's trying to say, well, I don't get it. Why would they use another agent? I say, well, when's the last time you saw them? 4 years ago. But I send a newsletter, Robert, and it's just so in 4 years, they've met other people.
Oh my God. Look, I have the privilege of probably knowing more agents than almost anyone and knowing more real estate coaches. What the real estate coaches are all doing, which they're getting paid to do, is just trying to get agents to talk to people in different ways. That's really what it is. Like, that is the business. It's all repeat and referral business, just talking to people. And I'm thinking about like the moment we're in as a company. I think leadership is ability to ground yourself in reality, have a vision of where you want to go and a path to get there. And the reality of where we are right now is there's more fear than almost any time. Politics, DOJ, blah, 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 commissions. We would have buyer commission, market, recession, interest rates, da, da, da. But, Warren Buffett says, when others are greedy, I'm fearful. When others are fearful, I'm greedy. So there is opportunity here. And I think, where are we going as a company? Like, I want this company to be the defining company in the industry. I want Compass to be a verb. Go Compass it. I believe people 10 years from now won't be saying, hey, why are you at Compass? Why do you work with Compass? They should be, why aren't you at Compass? Why wouldn't you work with Compass? That's all possible. Now, how do we get there? It's so simple. We used to have to do all these hard things. If I could ask for literally just one thing, only one, I would say we get there by unleashing the power of the 30,000 Compass agents on the marketplace, the best agents on balance of any company in the country. How do we unleash the power? Now, I almost feel like if I gave some complicated thing of like, oh, that's exciting, I'll do this, do that, all we need to figure out how to do is to get our agents to spend twice as much time with people that are their sources of business than anyone else. That's all we have to do. So that's the magic trick. How do we do it? Because if you spend twice as much time with sources of business, with people, whether it's agents or because if you ever had an offer on a property, it wasn't the best offer, but your relationship with an agent on the other side made it, get it through, or your sphere of influence, it would actually be the like dirty little secret is it would be impossible for your business not to grow if you're spending more time with people than any other agent. That's it. Like, we didn't build technology to replace the relationship with the agent. We built it to empower a relationship, to get rid of the non-core administrative arts and crafts tasks. Text message and Instagram wasn't meant to replace. It's supposed to help you do more. Like, it should. I'm trying like to do more. And anytime you see me in a market, or what I did yesterday, the barbecue, that's a client event. You're all my clients. And so I feel like I've learned the best from all of you. Let's just all do this together. Let's have more client, twice as many times, twice as much client events as any of the other agents. Let's have twice as much in-person meetings. Let's have twice as much, networking events. Let's have twice as much broker tour, going to broker tours, twice as much do. And then we're going to, what's going to happen to our market share? People be like, how'd Compass's market share grow? What just happened? What's going to happen to your market share? We'll all grow together.
That's right. Quick story. Christina Bergstrand, one of my clients, Lake Tahoe. We did Ladies of Compass Art of Referrals webinar 2 weeks ago. And she's telling us, and this is a recent story, everybody. We do our weekly calls, and she got a $20 million referral that she's working, Lakefront, Lake Tahoe. And I said, so where did this come from? She goes, well, I was taking my daughter to soccer camp down in Palo Alto. So that's going to be about 3 hours of a drive from Tahoe. And I said, okay. And she goes, yeah. So I decided to get lunch. You keep telling me, get in front of people 3 times a week, get lunch, okay. She goes, so reached out. I said, well, where did you meet this agent? She goes, when I joined Compass, there was a luncheon for us all onboarding together at the same time. So we just sat next to each other. We got to know each other, became friends. So I went to Palo Alto. We had lunch, hung out. The next week she calls me up. Hey, I have an active $20 million referral. And it's picking up the phone and making the time. She could have gone to Palo Alto. She could have just gone, and that would have been the end of the story. And so one question I have for you, Robert, for everybody on this call, because clearly the naysayers and the doubt building Compass didn't phase you, right? You were still going, having conversations. But one of the biggest things I find with clients is when they say, but what if nobody shows up? Or what if I invite and then they don't want to do it? And I always say, well, number one, they're going to. But at the same time, what do you want to say to encourage them with the doubt? Because doubt is real.
Doubt for like what bad could happen?
Well, if I put together this event and nobody shows up, I'm going to be so embarrassed, or I feel weird even reaching out to somebody because, I help them sell their home. I help them sell 10 homes, but I feel weird asking them to go to a dinner or come to a party.
If I say there's of the 2 top commonalities of the top agents in the country, one of them for sure is they don't have that thing you're just talking about. And by the way, just any entrepreneurs. So like I understand that thing can exist, but some of the best agents that I talk to, I talk to them, I think they're delusional because they are. And but not entrepreneurs, and maybe I am as well, right? But I can think of some of these faces. Because I know the certain agents in particular, but they can deal with reject. All agents, by the way, are good at this. It's just how good are you? It is your greatest superpower is the ability to bounce back with passion and still move forward. You have the mindset to knock on 10 doors, get said no to all 10 of them, and still do the 11th. It is something that is truly unique. But this fear of putting yourself out there, it's like you got to put yourself out there. Because remember, where's all of this come from? It comes from people. If it comes from people, the question is who's going to have the most like and trust people? Person that have the most like and trust people, or it's hard to build like and trust people if the people don't see you and they don't know you. So you got to put yourself out there.
Yeah.
And so I think the question really would be like, so how do you help someone with that? I think like there are two ways to approach it. One is you're probably born with this, some of these agents, where they just like, they see no, and like it goes, it's like a millisecond, like they just go to the next thing. Like, and so I think they're kind of born with that, some of those people, because not all the top agents are like that. I think the next is you find a game in it. It's a narrative, or you create a narrative in it. And so look, all these like competitor CEOs said all these like crazy things about companies over the years. I appreciate it. That gave me energy to keep working. Right. And so I think there's certain, like not everyone plays sports to get their competitive juices going. But there's a different competition in being an agent, getting that's listening to that listing, or me, and like growing our company in one market or another. And so I think you can create a narrative of, oh no, yes, I can. You say I can. Oh, I can. And like, and then the last thing I'd say is probably, because that's a narrative, is like the game of it, which is, I call, a lot of people every week. And in the game of it, I try to like see like how many meaningful moments can I have, right? And so it's not about like it's not about for every 100 people I call, maybe only 20 pick up, right? And of those 20, maybe only 10 meaningful moments happen. But then those are good moments, and they're all effort.
You said something earlier, and I think it's just so spot on, which is we came out of a pandemic. So something that I've been trying to say a lot is, number one, people are craving connection at this point. 2-3 years, they've been sitting at home, working from home, whatever it is. So being around others, even a lot of folks who said, I want to be remote. Guess what? They're like, I miss people, right? And so when it's being of service in a way where you are saying, hey, let's get some people together, have an event, have dinner. I'm a hugger. I like to give hugs. And I find that people often like to just get a hug, especially if they haven't had one. So when you're having events, you can also connect people. I used to love connecting my clients and being able to say, well, you're in tech, you're in tech, you're in tech. Let me introduce you guys. Guess what? You love fitness, you love fitness, you love fitness. Let's do a fitness event. And so you're just connecting.
Yeah, someone special said, if we as agents could think of ourselves less as salespeople and more as in the customer service business, it changes your frame of mind. That it's really with everyone you meet, how can you provide value to them? And so I think there's trust, there's like, and then there's value. And just being not like, if I were an agent, I would at the end of every day, like, was like, how much trust did I create? How much like did I create? How much value did I give? All those, I mean, in what other industry can you make over $1 million a year being a good person? just I mean, in what other moment in time can you grow your business by 2x just by being more human?
Yeah,
this is the moment, and it may not be here that long. Maybe it will be, but this is an incredible opportunity right now. This market is not a bad thing. It is not happening to you. This market is just happening. This market is an opportunity disguised as a challenge. That's right. I assure you.
Yes.
There's a reason why you say in down markets, the best agents gain market share. In down markets, the worst agents leave the biz, the best agents keep the biz. There are reasons why those sentences have been out there for decades and decades, because bad markets are just opportunities disguised as a challenge.
Yeah. For all of us that were in the down market back in 08, 09, we see what happens for those folks then that were investing and spending, they were marketing, getting out in front of people, doing all the things. My client Ann Perry from Oahu said it perfect. I said, what's your play? Ann, she goes, well, I have a hit list ready to go. I'm going after everybody. And it was so spot on, because anytime you see a shift in the market, that's when you get aggressive. It's an opportunity.
Well, okay, I'm really thankful to you for bringing our community together, or 400 people strong, to discuss and learn and grow how we can be better together. I'm incredibly committed to each and every one of you and to this company. If I can ever be helpful, email me, Robert@Compass. Call me 917-488-4898. Text is better. Text me anytime. I am that's one last piece of advice. Please, if you go to Italy for 2 weeks, do not put it on social media. Like I see it again. It's not just agents. I see it on like my own old friends. Like people want to hire people that are all in. They want to hire people who are going to do whatever it takes to help them be successful. They don't want to hire someone who's in Italy for 3 weeks and then go like traveling and taking pictures. So I'm not saying you shouldn't go, but I'm just saying do what got you here, not what you did over the last 3 years. and market being all in. Again, that's why you're the ones who told me when we launched all these markets, we need an office space to show the presence of Compass, to show our commitment to the market. A home office with your whatever behind is the exact opposite of that. If I were an agent, I'd go to office every single day. And I say, I just want the seat where I can show the most people kind of behind me walking back and forth. I'm going to talk to my clients. I'm going to look so professional. I'm like, and they're going to say, like, this person is just working all the time and trying to like help clients and sharing information. So I just think about that a little bit. All right, everybody.
Thank you, Robert. Take care. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us today. Absolutely appreciate it. We are going to send this recording out to everybody if you have any questions. So have a wonderful week.